여러분 안녕하세요. 저는 서초센터 팀리더 구찬양입니다. 오늘 이렇게 온라인 웨비나를 통해 만나게 되어 반갑습니다. 영국문화원은 재학생에게 교육적이고 흥미로운 주제로 정기 웨비나 브리티시턱을 진행하고 있습니다. 오늘은 그 두 번째 세션으로 영국과 영국의 왕실에 대해서 알아보는 시간을 준비했습니다. 마지막에 질의응답 시간이 준비되어 있으니 세션이 진행되는 동안 궁금한 점은 이후 채팅창에 남겨주세요. 그럼 시작해 보겠습니다. 오늘 세션을 진행할 제임스 루이스 선생님을 소개합니다. Hi James, are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you, Chanyang. Okay, hello everybody. Thank you very much for joining today's session, and thank you to Chanyang for introducing the session too. My name is James and I'm the senior teacher at Socho Center. I'm originally from the United Kingdom, but I've been living in Korea now for 17 years, so I came here in 2007. So in today's session, I'm going to take you through a little bit of information about the royal family. Who are the royal family of the United Kingdom? And then the second part of the session will look at what is the United Kingdom? What four countries make up the UK? Today's session, I would like to be interactive, so please do put your, when I ask a question, please put your answers into the chat. If you're using a phone or your keyboard, just type in the answers as we go along. Okay, let's start. So the first question is, who is the King of England? If anybody knows the answer, could you put it into the chat now? Who is the King of England? Oh, fantastic. Good job, guys. That's correct. So King Charles is the current King of England. He's King Charles III. And he was the king, he became the king on May 6th of 2023. So he became the king last year. And did you know King Charles is actually the patron of the British Council. So he supports our mission in spreading peace, prosperity, and English language throughout the world. Let's have a look at the royal family. Here's a photo of the royal family, and you can see they're all looking up. And that's because in this event, this was the Queen's Jubilee, there were these big jet planes flying across the sky. Starting on the left side, we have Queen Camilla. Camilla is the wife of King Charles. She's married to him. Next to Camilla is King Charles. He's King Charles III. The little girl is Princess Charlotte, and she is Prince William's daughter. And then we have Prince William. Prince William is the son of King Charles. He's the oldest son. Then in the middle of the photo, we can see Queen Elizabeth. She's Queen Elizabeth II, and she passed away, and that's when King Charles became the king. Next is Princess Catherine. She is Prince William's wife. And Prince Harry is King Charles's second son. He's the youngest son. Prince George is the son of Prince William and Princess Catherine. We also have Prince Andrew and then Prince Philip. Prince Philip was married to Queen Elizabeth II. So I have a little quiz for you here. I've got 4 photos on the screen, and one of these people is not in the royal family. Can you put your answer in the chat now? Which number do you think is not in the royal family? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay, that's great. Yes, that's correct. Number 3 is Number 3 is Adele. Adele is a famous singer from the UK, and the rest are in the royal family. Okay, here's another one. This one's maybe a little trickier. Who is not in the royal family? That's correct. The answer is number 2. Do you know who he is? He is David Beckham, a very popular football player from England. And my third quiz question, who is not in the royal family? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Put your answers in the chat. That's correct. Wow, you guys know a lot. So number 4, this is Ron Weasley from the Harry Potter series, right? Okay, here we can see the family tree of the royal family. The history of the royal family is very, very long. It's over 1,200 years long. So, the first King of England was King Alfred the Great. You can see him on the left side of the screen. And he is the great, 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 great times 37 grandfather of our current king, King Charles III. So, the monarchy in England has been going on for over 1,200 years until today. The royal family live in this palace in London. Does anybody know the name of where they live? That's right. So this is Buckingham Palace. It's in London, and it's a very famous tourist attraction. Millions of people visit Buckingham Palace every year to see the wonderful gardens, the wonderful buildings, and also the King's Guard. Let me tell you a few facts about Buckingham Palace. It was built in 1703. There are 775 rooms in the palace, and there are 52 bedrooms. That's a lot of bedrooms, right? There are 98 bathrooms, 1,500 doors, and over 700 windows in Buckingham Palace. Would you like to see inside? Let's take a quick tour of Buckingham Palace, and as you watch the video, think about, would you like to visit this palace? Okay, so that was a quick look at Buckingham Palace. What did you think? I saw some really nice comments in the comment section like magnificent or wonderful. And I think those are really good words to describe this palace. It's a magnificent building set in London. And if you ever go to London, I highly recommend checking it out. Outside of the palace, we have the King's Guard. Their job is to protect the palace and, of course, protect the king. They stand outside the palace 24/7. That means 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So Monday to Sunday, you can see the King's Guard protecting the palace. They work in shifts of 2 hours, so every 2 hours the guards will change. During the 2 hours, they can't eat or drink or take a break. They have to be alert and ready for action. If someone is in the way, they shout very loudly, "Make way for the King's Guard!" And it often surprises tourists who might get a little bit too close. Okay, so last year was the coronation, and this is when the king became the king. It happened on May 6, 2023, and it was a national holiday. At the start of the day, the king left the palace with the queen and rode in this wonderful golden carriage. This carriage weighs 8 tons and it was pulled by 12 horses down to Westminster Abbey. In front of the horses we had the Royal Guard, and here we have the Royal Guard Band. So the band walked and played trumpets to celebrate the king's coronation. At the very front of the line we had the Royal Guard again on the big black horses going to Westminster Abbey. And finally, at Westminster Abbey, King Charles received the royal jewels. This included the crown, the scepter, and other jewels to show that he is now the King of England. So King Charles is the King of England, but did you know he's actually the head of state of 15 other countries? Here you can see some flags on the screen, and Charles is the head of state of these countries. Can anybody recognize a country from this picture? Fantastic. So I see some comments about Canada and Australia. There's also New Zealand there and Jamaica. So King Charles is the head of state of 15 countries. On many of the flags you can see the Union Jack, right? The Union Jack is the red, white and blue flag. Okay. So let's talk about the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is made up of 4 different countries. Do you know which countries are in the UK? Okay, so on the top left we have Northern Ireland. Below that is Wales. When I was a kid I used to spend a lot of time in Wales, a very beautiful place. At the top right we have Scotland. A little bit later this year one of our teachers is going to present Scotland in one of these British talks, so you can look forward to that. And at the bottom right we have, of course, England. So these 4 countries make up the United Kingdom. United means together, right? And here we can see the flags. So the red and white flag is England. The red dragon, that's Wales. The blue and white flag is Scotland. And the red and white flag with the hand, that's Northern Ireland. And all 4 countries, when they are united, we get the Union Jack. The Union Jack is the flag in the middle of this picture. When you go to the British Council Young Learner Centres, you can see the Union Jack flying across the lobby. Here are some facts about the United Kingdom. First of all, there are 67 million people living in the UK. That's a little bit bigger than Korea. The national drink is tea. People in the UK prefer tea to coffee. In America, people love coffee, but in England, we really like a cup of tea. Our national food is fish and chips. And when we say chips, chips are like French fries. They're not potato chips. The national sport is football. And the Premier League is really, really popular. There's a Korean player, Son Heung-min, and he plays for Tottenham in the Premier League, right? Soon we have the European Championships, and we'll be supporting England as they try to win the cup. The capital city of England is London, and the UK is quite a rainy place. Even in summer, it's very rainy. In London, we have the tallest building in Europe. It's called the Shard, and it's shaped like a triangle. And there are 8 million people living in London. It's a very international city, and there are more than 300 languages spoken. If you go to London, you can even find a Koreatown. Okay, let's look at some of the landmarks and sites in the UK. So this ancient monument is called Stonehenge. Stonehenge was built 5,000 years ago. The rocks are 25 tons each, and the people had to carry them from 250 miles away. It must have been so difficult to do that. Nobody really knows why ancient people built Stonehenge, but it does align to the sun and the stars, so probably it's about astrology. It's not too far from London, so if you go to London, you can take a day trip to Stonehenge. This lovely town is called Stratford-upon-Avon, and this is where William Shakespeare was born. William Shakespeare was the famous British poet, and he wrote plays like Romeo and Juliet or Macbeth. If you go to Stratford, you can visit William Shakespeare's house, and you can see his bedroom where he wrote his stories. Here is the London Eye. The London Eye is the biggest Ferris wheel in Europe. It's 135 meters high, and when you get to the top, you have a really good view of London City. Every year, 3 million people ride this Ferris wheel. It's called the London Eye because it looks a little bit like an eye. And then we have this building. This building is the symbol of the UK. Do you know what this building is called? So this is Big Ben. That's right. Big Ben is actually the name of the bell which is inside the clock tower. Big Ben is the symbol of the UK. It's right next to where the Houses of Parliament are and this famous bridge. And every hour the bell strikes a big ding dong. So, which one of these sites is interesting to you? If you go to the UK, which one would you like to visit? Put your number in the chat, and maybe if you can, add a reason. Why would you like to go there? Okay, I see a lot of comments about number 1. Yeah, it's really cool, number 1. It's quite special. And I saw a comment about William Shakespeare. In our returnee courses at the British Council, we have a lot of time spent studying Shakespeare, which is quite fun. Okay. In the UK, there are lots of towns with quite funny names. I'm going to show you some names of towns, and some names are real and some names are not real. I would like you to put T or F in the chat if you think it's true or false. So number one is Donkey Town. Do you think that's a real town? That's right, Donkey Town is a real town. Would you like to live in Donkey Town? I'm not so sure. The second one is Boggy Bottom. What do you think? Is that a real town? Boggy Bottom is a real town. True. Next is Great Snoring. Snoring is the sound you make when you are sleeping. Do you think this is a real town name? The answer is true again. Number 4, we have Big Nose. Big Nose is false. Lost. What do you think about this one? Lost. Lost is a true town name. I wonder what the story is behind that town name. Then we have Shark's Corner. Shark's Corner is false. And then the last town name, oh, I need to get out of the way. What do you think about this town name? I can't say it, but what do you think? Is that true or false? So this town name is true. This is actually the longest town name in the whole world, and you can find this town in Wales. So if you go to Wales, many people go to this town because they want to take photos with the sign. They go to the train station and take a photo. I don't know how to say it, sorry. Okay, so I prepared some quiz questions. Hopefully you were listening carefully during this presentation. Question number 1. Let's review. Who is the King of England? Please put your answers into the chat. Very good, guys. So yes, King Charles III is the King of England. Question 2. What is the name of the famous palace in London which was built in the 1700s? That's correct. The answer is Buckingham Palace. Very good. Good spelling too. The third question. How many countries make up the UK and what are they? The correct answer here is 4. So there are 4 countries: Wales, England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. My final question for you in this quiz. Which famous person was born in Stratford-upon-Avon? Good job. So yes, that's correct. It was William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is the famous playwright born in Stratford-upon-Avon. And if you go there, you can visit his house. Okay. We're coming now to our team leader, who's going to tell you a bit about British Council Primary Plus.
Thank you, James. 이와 같이 영국 문화원 수업 시간에도 여러 국가의 문화를 주제로 수업이 진행되고 있습니다. 초등학교 고학년이 배우는 프라이머리 4 레벨의 교재와 코스 오버뷰, 그리고 서초 재원생들의 작품인데요. 학생들은 한 달간의 수업 동안 방문해보고 싶은 나라를 택하고 그 나라의 대표적인 관광 명소는 뭐가 있는지 조사합니다. 뿐만 아니라 스스로의 여행을 계획해보며 마주할 수 있는 상황에서 사용할 수 있는 영어 표현들을 익혀갑니다. 이러한 학습을 통해 학생들은 단순히 영어만 배우는 수업을 넘어 상황에 맞는 실생활 표현을 배우고 언어에 자신감을 가질 수 있도록 독려하는 수업을 합니다. 그리고 영국문화원에서는 문화교류의 일환으로 일부 레벨에서 타국과 영국문화원 어학원 재학생과 편지 교류 활동, 펜팔을 진행하기도 합니다. 이번 학기에는 프랑스 영국문화원 학생들과 펜팔을 하며 양 국가의 재학생이 서로에 대해 알아가는 시간을 가졌습니다. 여러분께 저희가 아주 짧은 영국문화원 소개 영상을 준비하였습니다. 영상을 시청하시면서 오늘 진행된 세션에 대해 궁금한 점이 있으시다면 댓글창에 남겨주세요.
At the British Council, connections have always been at the heart of what we do. From a very first English class, to supporting high quality and inclusive education for all. Building partnerships to share expertise. Creating opportunities to learn and thrive. With the qualifications that transform lives. From creative collaborations that spark imagination and innovation. To sharing arts and culture with new audiences around the world. Breaking down barriers. Opening conversations. To help tackle the global challenges facing us all and supporting young people with the skills they need. Connecting the UK to the world. Working together, we can achieve so much more than we can alone. Building connections, understanding, and trust for a more peaceful and prosperous world.
오늘 세션에 대해 어떤 질문들을 남겨주셨을까요? 남겨주신 질문 확인해 보겠습니다. So, there are a couple of questions here. Let me choose the first question. What's the qualification to become the King's Guard? And what does the Royal Guards mean to British people?
Oh, thank you. That's a really good question. So to become a Royal Guard, the Royal Guard is part of the British Army, right? So to become the Royal Guard, you need to be at least 16 years old, and the maximum age is 35. You need to pass a fitness test, so you need to show that you are strong and you can be awake. And you also need to have some high school qualifications. So not too difficult, right? But what does it mean to the British people? Well, it's a symbol. The Royal Guard are a symbol of the UK. The red uniform and the black hat is very recognizable around the world. So it's a symbol of United Kingdom.
Oh, thank you. Next question. Are the languages of Ireland, Scotland, and Wales very different? Could you tell me about some dialects?
That's a good question. So we have 4 countries in the United Kingdom, and all of the countries use English to communicate with each other. But if you go to Wales, they also speak Welsh. Welsh is very different to English, and when you go to Wales, on the signs you'll see English and Welsh together, and they still study Welsh in schools today. And then all around the UK there are different dialects. So I'm from the south of England, and my accent is quite different to someone from the north of England. So it's very regional how English is spoken in the UK.
Okay, thank you. The last question is about you. What's your favorite British dish?
So British food gets a bad reputation, I think. Many people say British food is not delicious, or it's too bland, it's too boring. But in my opinion, I think British food is delicious. I wish there were more places to eat it in Korea. My favorite food is the national dish, fish and chips. I really like fish and chips with a little bit of lemon, some tomato ketchup, and sometimes some gravy. It's really delicious.
Alright, thank you for your answer. 네, 질의응답은 여기까지 해보겠습니다. 어느덧 행사를 마칠 시간이 되었네요. 함께 영국에 대해 이야기를 나눌 수 있어서, 그리고 영국문화원에 대해 안내를 드릴 수 있어서 유익한 시간이었습니다. 여러분도 흥미로운 시간이었기를 바라며 세션을 마치겠습니다. 저희 영국문화원의 활동이 궁금하시다면 영국문화원 웹사이트나 SNS를 방문해주세요. 9월에 있을 다음 웨비나에서도 또 만나 뵙길 바라겠습니다. 감사합니다. Bye. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.